These calcium salts of fatty acids or white pastes, they don't cause lather. You can't clean the cloth, you can't wash the cloth using hot water. It is unfit for boilers and it creates problem in industry. Therefore, removal of hardness is a challenge. In order to remove hardness, if it is a temporary hardness, you can simply boil. You can also add calcium hydroxide in Clark method. If you add excess, you get a problem of permanent hardness. Should you add only actual amount that is needed. Also, you can add sodium carbonate to remove temporary hardness or permanent hardness. Washing soda, Na2CO3 can remove both the temporary hardness and permanent hardness. Also, you have a method called permuted process. Next, you have, today we discuss Calgon process. Calgon. So, today we are going to look at the methods of removal of hardness of water and also how to estimate the hardness of water, how to express the hardness of water. Then we go to hydrogen peroxide, that is the approach. Okay, sir. I'm just waiting for public to complete. Sir, remove. Annotate, I have already removed. Okay. Yes, sir. Now we are going.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Just I want to complete the admission process and go to class. Just waiting 11:06. Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. So we agreed upon that. There is a compound, there is a complex compound. See, look at this compound. Na2, Na4, PO3 taken 6 times. This is a compound having a very big formula. I call it as complex compound. There are so many complex compounds. I think you might have heard about this compound, K4, FeCN6. Have you heard about this compound, sir? Potassium ferrocyanide. Have you heard about it? There are some compounds in chemistry which have very big formulas. Generally, these complex compounds or coordination compounds are made by D block elements. Rarely, they are also made by S block elements. In this compound, strangeness is that something is kept in square bracket. And often we put something before square bracket or after square bracket. Compounds which are represented by this gigantic formula, which are a bit difficult to understand, are called complex compound. Anything that is difficult is called complex. In these complex compounds, something is taken in square brackets. You take a metal, you put something in small bracket. Whatever you put in small bracket is called a ligand. In a complex compound, whatever you put in square bracket is called ligand. This is central metal. Whatever you put outside the square bracket are called counter ions. They are not important. Counter ions. Anyway, this is a complex compound. Name of this complex compound is sodium hexametaphosphate. Difficult to call it with such a big name. Simply you can call it as Calgon. Now, if you are adding this powdered Calgon to water, the Calgon has a very great ability to take away calcium ions or magnesium ions or iron ions which cause hardness. What it will do is, it will take these metal ions into the square bracket, complex form. You are getting Na2, Ca2PO3 taken 6 times and 4 Na plus will go into solution. Suppose you have taken calcium sulfate, then the solution will have sodium sulfate. Suppose you have taken magnesium chloride in hot water, the solution will have NaCl. Therefore, the cation is absorbed by complex. The anion combines with the outcoming Na+. As the cation is absorbed into complex, it loses its ability to spoil soap solution. A lion kept in cage, can it kill you? When a lion is kept in cage, it can't kill you unless you enter into cage. Okay.
Yes.
Once in a Charlie Chaplin movie, in a circus, he was caught red-handed without ticket. Therefore, the circus manager wants to punish him. He says, you have not bought the ticket, now you take the disguise of a goat. So he gives him makeup as goat and he will be dancing like goat. By mistake, the goat leg slips and falls in a cage of lion. Then the Charlie Chaplin will be shivering like hell because by mistake he has fallen in the cage of a... When he was shivering too much, then the lion says, don't worry, I will not eat you.
Yes, sir.
Why the lion said?
Lion stomach is
Because that lion is also another person who is in the disguise of lion. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So like that it happens sometimes. What I told you is the calcium ion is kept in cage. When it is in cage, it cannot come out. In complex, whatever that is there in the square bracket cannot come out into water. Therefore, in Calgon method, calcium magnesium ions are removed by complexation. What is this called?
Complexation.
is not in the group.
Okay, I have muted all, don't worry. So the calcium, magnesium ions or even iron ions are trapped into Calgon, because of which its ability to cause hardness is removed. The water may have sodium chloride, sodium sulfate, it is okay. Sodium ions cannot cause hardness. Are we clear? So there is standard question. What is Calgon? Sodium hexametaphosphate. What is its formula? Na2, Na4PO3 taken 6 times. What is the purpose of Calgon? It removes the hardness causing ions. How it removes? By complexation. What do you mean by complexation? The calcium, magnesium, iron ions are trapped into complex. For every M plus 2 ion, 2 Na plus are released into water. As the calcium, magnesium, iron ions are removed by complexation, the temporary as well as permanent hardness can be removed. So this is an effective method, though expensive. Because whenever you want to remove hardness, you have to buy the Calgon powder and mix. Once you use it, it will be over. It can't be used again. So that is called a Calgon process. Are we very clear? Suppose you have 4 moles of calcium ions. How many moles of Calgon is needed? In a liter of hot water, you have 4 moles of calcium ions. How many moles of Calgon is needed? You need only 2 moles because Each mole of Calgon can take 2 Ca plus 2 and give 4 Na plus. As you have to remove 4 calcium plus 2, you need to have 2 moles of Calgon. That is a standard IIT main question. Suppose you have to remove 6 moles of calcium plus 2. Then you should take 3 moles of Calgon. If you have to remove X moles of Mg plus 2, you have to take X by 2 moles of Calgon. That's a question. That's all. Are we very clear, sir? Hello, sir. Now we are going to next idea. There are something called resins, which are polymeric materials. The polymeric materials. Meeting is open. Anybody can join. Nobody is there in the waiting room, man. Nobody is there in the waiting room. Nobody is there. I am not able to see. I think this is their system problem. In my waiting room, nobody is there. Okay. I kept the meeting open only. Sir, there is something called cation exchange resin. For X moles of calcium plus 2 ions, you require X by 2 moles of Calgon. That is the calculation. For every A moles of Mg plus 2 ions, you require A by 2 moles of Calgon. That way. Let's forget about that. Now let us go to next method called ion exchange resin method. Here you have something called cation exchange resin. It has a chemical formula RCOOH. R can be a carbon chain with hydrogens like this. This is R. It can have 3 carbons, 4 carbons, 5 carbons, 28 carbons, I don't care. COOH. Simply I call it as RCOOH. The cation exchange resin, this is the cation exchange resin. You pass the hot water. The hardness of water is due to, let us suppose, Ca plus 2 ion or Mg plus 2 ion or Fe plus 2 ion. I simply call it as M plus 2 ion. So the RCOOH will take the M plus 2 ion and it will become RCOO taken twice M and it will release H plus ions. Because it has taken M plus 2, it will give 2H plus. Suppose you have MSO4. The water which is coming out of cation exchange resin, M plus 2 is taken and H plus is released, so you get H2SO4 in water which is coming out. Suppose your hardness is due to magnesium chloride. Then the magnesium ion is absorbed by Calgon so that it becomes RCOO taken twice Mg. This material is called cation exchange resin. The cation exchange resin will take Mg plus 2 ions and give 2H plus. As a result, outcoming water will have HCl. Suppose your hot water has iron bicarbonate. What outcoming water will have, sir? Cation exchange resin will take iron plus 2. it becomes RCOO taken twice Fe, gives H plus. What happens to HCO3, sir? What happens, sir? The HCO3 will take H plus and become carbonic acid. Therefore, the negative part of the salt that causes hardness takes H plus. Positive part is absorbed by cation exchange resin so that it becomes metal carboxylate. In this way, you have completely removed any positive ion. It can be Na plus, it can be Mg plus 2, it can be Fe plus 2. Any damn dirty plus ion is absorbed and given H plus. That is the greatness of cation exchange resin. It won't discriminate whether the metal ion is causing hardness or not. Any metal ion. See, before Allah, whether he is a big man, whether he is a small man, whether he is a lady, whether it is a lady, whether he is a gent, whether it is beautiful, whether it is ugly, will it matter? Allah will accept all of your prayers and give you love. For Allah, there are no conditions because Allah is the merciful. Any doubt? Allah accepts your sins because you are repenting. You go to the mosque or don't go to the mosque. Pray Him wholeheartedly. He will take all your troubles and give you peace. Like Allah, our cation exchange resin takes any metal ion, Na plus, Mg plus 2, Fe plus 2, any damn dirty metal ion, and it gives H plus. That is cation exchange resin. Takes any cation, any plus ion, and gives H plus. The hardness of water may be caused by calcium sulfate, magnesium chloride, iron sulfate, anybody. The metal ion is taken by cation exchange resin and gives H plus. So originally, if your hardness is caused by calcium sulfate, calcium is taken over by cation exchange resin and H plus are given out. So the outcoming water from the cation exchange resin contain acids like sulfuric, HCl, H2CO3. So the outcoming water from cation exchange resin is acidic, which is free from metal ions. The pH of the outcoming water in the cation exchange resin is said to be less than 7 because any acid will have pH less than 7. So we understood there is a very important method to remove hardness called ion exchange resin method. In ion exchange resin method, first we take the water which is having hardness. That hot water is passed through cation exchange resin. It will take any metal ion and give H plus ions. The outcoming water in the cation exchange resin is acidic with pH less than 7. Now this water you pass through anion exchange resin. The anion exchange resin. It is fundamentally it contains RNaH3 plus OH minus. R means hydrocarbon chain, don't worry. So this is anion exchange resin. Now the water which enters into it, whatever the negative ion it has, it may have sulfate ions, it may have chloride ions, it may have phosphate ions, it may have bicarbonate ions, it may have bromide ions. Any minus ion it will take so that it becomes RNaH3Br, for example, and releases pure OH minus ions. In the first cation exchange resin, positive ion is taken, H plus is given. In anion exchange resin, any negative ion is taken and OH minus ion is given. First case H plus is given, second case OH minus is given. The H plus and OH minus together make water. So you get deionized, ultra pure water without any impurities. So the cation exchange resin, anion exchange resins, both together in ion exchange resin method give you the best high quality water which has no ions, called deionized water. It is the best method to get purest water out of any water sample. Are you very clear, sir? Hello? So in ion exchange resin method, you take the hot water, pass it through cation exchange resin and then through anion exchange resin. After so many days, all the cation exchange resin becomes what? All the cation exchange resin becomes RCOO taken twice Cm. RCOOH takes Ca plus 2 and gives H plus. It becomes RCOO taken by Ca. Calcium carboxylate, magnesium carboxylate, iron carboxylate. After some time, entire cation exchange resin becomes useless because it has no H plus to give. To your girlfriend, you are giving your money, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 1000 rupees, 5000 rupees, and your father property is 50 lakhs. You have given all the 50 lakhs. Then do you have any money to give? Do you have any money? You have given all your money, your father's money, your friend's money to your girlfriend. Now a stage has come. You tell your girlfriend, if you want, you please continue to love me, otherwise you get hell out of this place. I have no more money. I can't make you happy now. Like the cation exchange resin gives all its H plus and takes metal ions. A stage will come, it will become useless. Then you can make it useful again. Your girlfriend has drained all your money. Now you became bankrupt. Again, your girlfriend wants money. How can you give? How can you give? You should be treated now with somebody who has money. If you marry a lady who is very rich secretly, you can take her money and give to your girlfriend. That's one alternate plan. The cation exchange resin after some time became useless. Then if you want to use it again, if you want to make it useful again, you pour phosphoric acid solution. The phosphoric acid will take calcium, magnesium ions and give H plus. Again, it will convert the metal carboxylate into RCOOH. This method of making the cation exchange resin useful again is called reclamation. What is it called? Reclamation. One can reclaimate the cation exchange resin using sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid. Similarly, after some time, anion exchange resin becomes useless. When anion exchange resin completely becomes RNH3X, it has no more OH minus to release. Then it became useless. You can make it useful again by passing NaOH solution, caustic soda solution, or KOH solution. So NaOH and KOH are used to reclaimate the anion exchange resin. Phosphoric acid, sulfuric acid are used to reclaimate cation exchange resin. So once again, they can be made useful. Now, what is the method that gives you ultra pure, very best water? Ion exchange resin method. In which case you are getting deionized water, ion exchange resin method. The problem with this is it is expensive and it requires skill. Fine. Now somebody asks you how intelligent you are. Somebody asks you how handsome you are. Can you say you are 50 kg handsome? Can you say you are 1000 liters intelligent? You can't do that. To measure a quantity, you require an appropriate scale. To measure hardness of water, we need ppm scale. Suppose we have these many bananas. How many bananas you have, sir? Sir, if you have 10 lakh bananas to your girlfriend, you will give 5 bananas. That is your rule. Suppose you have 5 million bananas. How many bananas your girlfriend will have? For every million, you are giving 5. The amount of bananas you are giving is said to be 5 ppm, 5 parts per million bananas you are giving. Because you have 5 millions, total girlfriend will be given 25 bananas. ppm scale says for 1 million, how much is it? Are we very clear? To express hardness of water, you take 1 million parts of water. 1 million milligrams of water. Now you say, how many milligrams of hardness causing agent is there? 1000 milligrams of water means 1 kg. So simply if you say, how many milligrams of hardness causing agent is there in kg water, you are saying hardness in ppm. So hardness in ppm is equal to number of milligrams of salt divided by, 1 million milligrams means kg, number of kgs of water. For water, 1 kg is approximately equal to 1 liter. So you can say number of liters of water, no problem. Number of milligrams of salt. Again, I have a problem. The hardness is caused by calcium chloride, magnesium chloride, and calcium bicarbonate. Magnesium bicarbonate, calcium sulfate, and magnesium sulfate. When once the hardness is caused by so many salts, which salt I will consider? What I do is, I convert every salt into CaCO3. It means the molecular weight of CaCO3 is 100. CaCl to molecular weight is 40 plus 71, 111. MgCl to molecular weight is 95. Calcium bicarbonate molecular weight is 162. Magnesium bicarbonate molecular weight is 146. Calcium sulfate molecular weight is 136. Magnesium sulfate molecular weight is 120. What you do is 120 grams of magnesium sulfate means 100 grams CaCO3. 95 grams of MgCl2 means 100 grams CaCO3. Any molecular weight you convert into CaCO3. Let's take a problem. 6 grams MgSO4 is there in 50 kgs of water. What is hardness? Can you work out, sir? Solution. Sir, MgSO4 molecular weight 120 is equal to 100 grams CaCO3. That is the molecular weight. 6 grams means how much? 100 by 120 into 6. That is equal to 5. It means the solution has 6 grams MgSO4 or 5 grams CaCO3 in 50 kg. Now hardness is equal to milligrams of CaCO3 divided by kgs of water. In the problem just now we have solved. How many milligrams of CaCO3 is there, sir? 5. How you got 5? Molar mass MgSO for 120 is equal to 100 CaCO3. 6 grams of MgSO4 is equal to how much CaCO3? You can work out it to be 5. Ladies and gentlemen, now you got 5 grams of CaCO3, right? Sir, first step, mass of CaCO3 in milligrams. Convert the data into milligrams. Grams into 1000 is equal to milligrams. Now hardness is equal to milligrams of CaCO3 divided by weight of water in kg. What is the weight of water in kg, sir? You have taken how much, sir? 50 kgs. Now, you got the idea what is hardness, sir? The milligrams of CaCO3 is equal to how much? 5000. The kgs or liters of water is how much? 50. So hardness of water is due to 100 ppm. So what are the steps in expressing hardness, sir? Convert the molar mass of given salt into CaCO3. Now, the milligrams of CaCO3 divided by kgs of water or liters of water gives you hardness in ppm. Simple, right? Try to solve this interesting problem. I have 9.5 grams of MgCl2 in 500 kgs of water. What is hardness? Try and give me answer. Please give the answer. .5 grams only. First step, MgCl2 molecular weight 95. 95 is equal to 100 CaCO3. 9.5 is equal to 10 grams CaCO3. Now 10 grams is to be converted into milligrams. 10 into 1000. 10,000 milligrams CaCO3 divided by weight of water in kg. 500 kg. Answer is 20 ppm. Congratulations, you could do in 1 minute. Wow. Okay, sir. One can do reverse problem also. If 500 kg of water hardness is 20 ppm, and if the hardness is caused by MgCl2, how much MgCl2 is present? That is reverse problem. Reverse problem is first you find out the weight of CaCO3. From weight of CaCO3, you calculate the weight of MgCl2. The weight of CaCO3 you get is how much, sir? 10,000 milligrams, which is equal to 10 grams. Then you work out CaCO3 100 is equal to 95 MgCl2. 10 CaCO3 is equal to 9.5. This is reverse engineering. So first you do forward. Forward is convert the molar mass of given salt into that of CaCO3. Then find out the weight corresponding to the salt to the weight of CaCO3. Express this in milligrams, divide with weight of water in kg. There are 3 steps. Step 1. No need to join again. Find the equivalent weight of CaCO3. convert to milligrams. If it is already in milligrams, no problem. ppm is equal to milligrams CaCO3 divided by mass of water in kg or volume in liters. These are the three steps. Reverse means you should go reverse order. They give ppm. From ppm to find the milligrams of CaCO3 using same formula. From milligrams of CaCO3, convert the mass of given salt. Convert the milligrams to grams if you want, grams to mass of the salt, based on the answer. You can solve any damn problem using this shortcut. Can you see it, sir? Congratulations, you have completed this. And tomorrow we will be talking about hydrogen peroxide and try to do 2-3 more problems additionally. And I have sent you some fill in the blanks and material. Try to see. Okay, sir? Our class is over. Good luck. Should I close the meeting, sir? Today you have learned the different methods to remove hardness, like Calgon method, like the ion exchange resin method, like adding washing soda. Yesterday you have learned about the Calgon, about the Clark method. In Clark method, you add Slaker lime. Slaker lime should be added calculated amount. Also, you have learned yesterday, boiling is a method to remove hardness. A reverse problem, all of you try to take this reverse problem. A sample of hot water has a hardness of 10 ppm. A sample of hot water has hardness of 10 ppm. In 50 liters of that water, what mass of CaSO4 is present? What mass of CaSO4 is present if that alone causes hardness? I repeat, a sample of hot water has a hardness of how much? 10 ppm. What mass of CaSO4 is present in 50 liters of water if that alone causes hardness? Should I solve it or will you do it? I will have to verify. Somebody gave